Alright, today we're going to start looking at problems where we have variables on both sides of the equations. When you have variables on both sides, we need to simplify both sides by distributing, clearing fractions, and adding like terms. Once we've done that, we'll move all the variables to one side of the equals and all the constants to the other side of the equals. The last thing we'll do is we'll divide and multiply to get the variable by itself. So let's go ahead and just get down to some of these problems. If you look before everything, all the x's are on one side to be able to combine like terms. Well, we can't do that anymore because the variables are on two different sides. So we need to move our variables to one side. Now you can move this 3x to the other side, or you can move the 5x to the other side. A lot of people always want to choose the smallest number to move. Some people just want to move everything to the left-hand side. They like to always put their x's on the left-hand side. What I'm going to do for now is I'm going to always just pick the smallest x value to move. So I'm going to get rid of this 3x instead of the 5x. Why do I like to do that? Well, it keeps more things with positive answers. So I end up getting 7 equals 5 minus 3 is 2x minus 9. Then I get rid of my minus 9 by adding 9 to both sides. I get 2x equals 16, and then I can divide by 2 on both sides, and I get x is 8. Again, on all of these problems, you can check your solution, so you can plug 8 into both the x's. This one, 5 times 8 is 40. 40 minus 9 is 31. On this side, I've got 3 times 8 is 24. 24 plus 7 is also 31, so I have the correct solution. On the next problem here again, draw the line down to equals. On the left-hand side, I can't combine anything. On the right-hand side, I cannot combine anything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick the smallest x to move. And I'm going to go ahead and move the 6x to the right-hand side. That gives me 3 equals 8 minus 6, which is 2x. Then what I want to do is I want to get rid of the minus 21 by adding 21 to both sides. That'll give me a 24. And then I'll divide by 2 on both sides, and I get 12 as my solution. On this next problem, what bothers people is if you move this 3x, you end up with 0 on the one side. So the fastest way to do this is to actually pick the smallest a value, which would be to move the 2a to the other side by putting a negative 2a. Now I basically, I do just have the answer because 3 minus 2 is a 1. So we can just write a, and so we know our answer is a equals 3. On this problem right here, what I'm going to do, again, I could move the 3m to the side, but that would create 0 over here, and a lot more work. So I'm going to pick this m right here to move, which is also the smallest variable. I'll get rid of, move the m by putting a negative m on both sides. It gives me negative 5 equals 3 minus 1, which is 2m. And then I can divide by 2 on both sides. 2 doesn't go into 5 evenly, so we'll just leave the answer of negative 5 halves. On my next problem here, I'm going to move variables to one side. If I look at my two variables, I've got a 7 and a 5. I'm going to move the 5. I'm going to move the smaller of the two so I can keep as much positive as I can. Notice when I'm moving things, I'm placing them underneath their like terms. This creates my 0 on the right-hand side, and so I'm left with just 16. On the left-hand side, I get 2k minus 4. The opposite of minus 4 is to add 4 to both sides. So I get 2k equals 20, and divide by 2, and k is 10. When you start to feel comfortable with these, feel free to pause the video at any point in time and try some on your own before I go through them. On this particular problem, I now have 3 w's. Well, something can be put together. I'm not going to put these two together. These are not like terms. But on the right-hand side, I have like terms, which creates a 9w. Like I said, I always like to move the smallest variable. Well, this negative 2w is the smallest variable, so I'll move it by adding 2 to both sides. It gives me negative 36 equals 11w. Then I'll divide by 11, and I get negative 36 over 11 as my solution. At this point in time, I'm going to pause, and we'll continue on the next video.